Here's what's coming up on today's show. ESPN's Mike Greenberg doing some silliness when it comes to Matthew Stafford somehow. Cowboys injury news and updates with Week 1 around the corner. The full Cowboys practice squad has been announced. We'll break it down. Also going to revisit the 2021 Cowboys draft class and number changes for America's team. But first, we are in a sub-battle this month against the Raiders Report. The Cowboys Report and the Raiders Report have had the most subs gained this month across the company here at Chat Sports. We have a narrow lead over the Raiders entering the final day of August. Help make sure that we win that battle by subscribing right now. In exchange, you will get free Cowboys videos every single day. Let's begin with a, I don't even know what to call it, weird, dumb story from ESPN. Mike Greenberg, as the talking head shows, can't resist talking about the Cowboys. They have to do it. It's the only way that they can get views. He says the Cowboys could move on from Dak and trade for Matthew Stafford. Then Matthew Stafford, just like Aaron Rodgers, could mentor Trey Lance / Zach Wilson, because that's why the Jets did that trade. Definitely wasn't because their quarterback sucked. Bad analogy as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of reasons why I think this is dumb, but first, the overall pitch from Greeny. I could easily see a world where in a year from today, Dak Prescott is way better off being the quarterback in Tampa, Minnesota, or Denver, where they really want him. And Matthew Stafford is the starting quarterback for his hometown Dallas Cowboys. Here we go again. And Greenberg pitched this as like, hey, I wouldn't do it, but Dallas might. No, Greeny, own it. You're generating controversy. That is what you are doing. To put it in perspective, how dumb this idea was, you guys know there's no love lost between this fan base and Dan Orlovsky. Orlovsky hated this idea. He was just like, no. He kept saying it's August. And he's right. It is August. We have football a week away, and we're talking about a hypothetical move that doesn't actually make sense a year from now. What are we doing here outside of slapping Cowboys trade Dak into headlines to try to get some clicks out of it? I am begging the talking head shows to talk about stuff that matters. Talk about football. They actually have good, insightful analysis on there, and they consistently appeal to the lowest denominator of, well, what about trading Dak? There's a lot of reasons why this is dumb. Is Stafford actually good right now? Like, he's coming off injury there. Does having a different mentor actually make sense for Trey Lance? And, is it a downgrade at quarterback? Does it make sense? And the money is also a big factor here. The Rams lose $6 million if they trade Matthew Stafford before June 1st, on top of his $30 million cap hit, by the way. They would save 31 after June 1st. Go tell me the last time a post-June 1st trade for a quarterback happened. Cowboys would owe $31 million. They would be either losing $2.46 million if they trade Dak Prescott, saving 34 if they do it after June 1st. So you're basically swapping contracts for players who are basically in the same tier. Although in theory, maybe you get less, the trade values maybe are similar, maybe you get more for Dak. You're basically trading the number 9 quarterback for the number 10 quarterback. And oh, by the way, Dak has a no trade clause. So hypotheticals are stupid because they are hypotheticals. So pick a QB. Now, this is a better discussion point, because I think if you got actual NFL people to rank them, as ESPN did on their actual content side for where things sit, I think Dak was 9, Stafford was 10. So probably should come in around 60-40, somewhere in that range. Pick a QB. DP for Dak Prescott, MS for Matthew Stafford. Go vote at the pinned comment of today's show. Some stuff that matters. How about injury updates here for the Dallas Cowboys? Donovan Wilson. Cowboys practiced at I think it was 8 a.m. this morning, because it's hot in Texas. Who would have known? Donovan Wilson still not back out there, recovering from a calf injury. Let's check in early next week and see what the status is there, but we'll have to see. Jourdan Lewis is back at practice. He's been out there off the PUP list after a really bad foot injury, by the way. The level of injury, Lewis said it was worse than Ellis Frank. Doctor said it was one of the worst ones they've ever seen. I'm a bit anxious there. Hopefully he's good to go. I doubt he plays week 1, but progress being made. Sam Williams, dealing with turf toe, although it is considered minor, which is a good thing. Although it is turf toe, like turf toe tends to linger. It's really annoying. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. So hopefully everything's fine for Sam Williams, who just needs to be on the field and not having any headlines off of it. So what is your concern level over the variety of Cowboys injuries right now? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Get those answers in for me in the comments section. We broke down the practice squad yesterday, knowing there were 2 spots open. We now know who they are. Alex Taylor, the offensive tackle, re-signing as well. And then the Cowboys went outside the organization for Willington Prevalon. And if you're going, that's a made-up name, I agree. It is not often that I go, who the hell is this guy? And that's what happened with Willington Prevalon, who I am convinced is some like British, I don't know, what's their system of government over there? A British congressman or whatever. I don't know. I don't pay attention to British. America, yeah, like, enjoy your tea. It sucks. Like, that is an East-West Shrine, makeup name from Key and Peele. It's a ridiculous name, but he's got good size, decent athletic juice, so I guess it makes some sense. The practice squad then is as follows. Malik Davis at running back, Tyron Johnson, Jalen Cropper, Princeton Fant, Sean McEwen are on that list from that perspective. Earl Bostic, Brock Hoffman, Sean Harlow, Alex Taylor, Darrell Johnson, among the other offensive line or the trench players. I didn't realize this when we built this. It's all trench guys in there. I did not know we were doing that when we built it. Maybe you did it on purpose, producer Chris. Good job there, my friend. Also on the practice squad for the Cowboys, Tyrus Wheat, Malik Jefferson, Josh Butler, C.J. Goodwin, and Sheldrick Redwine. So some extra depth coming in Alex Taylor and Willington Prevalon, a Madden-generated name to fill out some of those trench pieces there. Now, today's show is made possible by our sportsbook partner. That is BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys125 for a 125% deposit bonus. You can put down $100 minimum to get that deposit bonus, and they're going to give you an extra $125 for free. That way, if you bet on the Cowboys to cover the 3.5-point spread in week 1 against the Giants, and they only win by 3, that's okay. You still have plenty of leftover money. If they do cover it, you made even more than what you already had. Go put some money down at BetUS, chatsports.com/bet, promo code Cowboys125. I also wanted to spend some time today on the 2021 draft class. Not done for any of these guys necessarily, but a lot of moves have happened, so we can break it down. You had Micah Parsons. That selection saves this draft class. That alone probably gives it a pretty good grade. But you've had a bust on Kelvin Joseph. You traded him away for another bust in Noah Ibenogany. Osodizu has been a good player for you. A solid third-round pick, hoping for a breakout year, but it's been worth your selection. Chauncey Golston kind of need a breakout here. Very quiet so far, more of a backup role player. Deshaun Wright has been hurt, and frankly hasn't been that good either. So I hated that pick at the time, and I get to see enough to say it's going to change anytime soon. Jabril Cox has been cut. He is now on the Commanders' practice squad. Cox out. Josh Ball has been hurt, and he's also been bad. That not been a great pick. Your expectations drop as you go. Simi Fehoko is now on the Steelers' practice squad. He's been cut. 5th rounder, didn't do much for you. Quinton Bohanna at least gave you some snaps. A better pick than Fehoko and probably Ball and Cox have been so far. But he has also been released from that perspective. Israel Mukuamu has been by a massive margin your best day 3 draft pick, but he's kind of still a backup rotation piece. Matt Farniok now has been cut too. So in one offseason, you have moved on from 5 of your 11 draft picks from this class. So be honest with me. Grade the Cowboys draft class for 2021. A, B, C, D, or F. People complain about, you can't grade until it's a few years in. We even have a sample size here. Micah alone, I think, should make this class a B or so, but it should have been an A if you've been able to nail one or two of your day 2 or day 3 draft picks beyond what you currently have. Finally, some jersey changes are in for the Cowboys. Deuce Vaughn, by the way, sticking with 42. Jourdan Lewis will be wearing number 1. He also revealed he did try to switch to 0. And Jerry Jones said, no, I don't want anyone wearing 0. Classic Jerry. Maybe the Marvin Overshown will get it next year. He was 27. Noah Ibignogany is wearing 19. He was 9 for the Dolphins. That's taken by Kevontae Turpin. Marquise Bell is now 14. Flip the numbers from 41. Brandon Aubrey is now 17. He was also number 1, but he wasn't going to wear that in the season. They just didn't have enough numbers. Hunter Lipke is now wearing 40 as opposed to 44.